camera. Okay. There we go. Right. Where's my attention now? Okay, no, so we're gonna start off, so I'll leave that right there so I know where it is. Right, first thing, as always, we're gonna start off just loosening up the body, okay? So I'm looking left and right, and I'm looking up and down. So for the next couple of minutes, all we're doing is we're just scanning the body and taking every joint through a full range of motion. So in your own sort of time, don't rush this, look to the sides. While you're doing, you're checking what's going on with your neck, looking up and down, and then side to side and up and down. So once we've done those two, checking the atlas and the axis movement, which are the two bones that control those movements, then we're going to roll. So I go ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder, chin to chest. Now just roll forwards. We don't roll back. And then we go chin to shoulder, chin to chest, chin to shoulder, chin to chest. So now I'm rolling on the other axis, that's all. Lovely. So that's my neck check. So all I'm doing there is I'm just checking. Does it hurt? Is there any movement restriction? Is there any pain? I don't want movement restriction or pain, so I'm trying to avoid both. Okay, so I've done my neck, so now I look at my shoulders. So the ball and socket joint of the shoulder. There goes my post-it. I'll grab that in a second. And then back again. For coordination, one forward, one back. So I had to practice this in front of a mirror really slowly. They meet in the middle and then they carry on. The method that worked for you though was the one hand stays there, the other hand makes the circle. And once you've got that going, you slowly start to go with the other one there. I do not expect anyone to get that in a couple of seconds. That took me quite a bit of practice in front of a mirror at home. Okay, so that's the ball and socket joint, but there's two joints of the shoulder. The other one is the gliding joint here, or two joints that we concern ourselves with. So the gliding joint should slide across my thoracic cage. So the bone should slide across the ribs. So I'm opening and closing. For you guys then, it's just the thumb down, palm forwards here. Thumb back, palm up there. So you feel the sort of the huge movement of the shoulder blade. That's what we're looking for. As much movement in the shoulder blade as we can get. Lovely. And then the last one, I don't always do it, but I like this one. I grab my own wrist here, and I just roll my shoulders here. And it just transfers the movement through both sets of joints. Right? So I'm really just rolling it. And rolling it. So if my shoulder blade is unable to slide, that can cause quite a lot of pain in the neck and in the upper back. So we want to minimize that. So that's my neck, that's my shoulders. Elbows, simple enough joint. So I'm here this way, and I change the direction. If you want to pretend you're boxing, make it a fist. That's big dangerous martial arts do. And then back the other way. Okay, and then from here into my wrists. So I do my wrist circles, and back the other way. Lovely. Then I'm just going to grip fingers like so. Okay, so just checking what's going on with each of these joints. Are they functioning the way we want them to? So the spine then, so three ways with the spine. Forward and back, side to side and twist. Okay, so forward and back. I inhale as deeply as I can. When I inhale into my belly. As I exhale, I sink. Alright, now I like to go front, middle, back. Some people obsess on whether they can touch the floor or not. I don't really care. Stretching is a sensual process, meaning it's how it feels, not how it looks. So if you have different length bones, some people find that really easy, other people find it really difficult. Your flexibility, of course, comes into play, but I'm not really concerned with where you can go relative to someone else. I'm concerned with your movement and your movement improving. Okay, so that's forward and backwards. So then side to side, lean to the side, and then I like to turn this hand so it goes thumb forward, palm up, as this hand traces trying to get to my ankle. So this one goes thumb forward, palm up, and I try to reach that wall. So it's thumb forward, palm up, try and reach that wall. This hand's trying to get to my ankle, so I'm going left side, right side. This is the movement that always reminds me that I'm not 18, despite my immature behavior. Okay, so that's spine forward and backwards and spine side to side. So then the spine twists. So what I want to do, even if you might find it easier to use a reference, you put your hand out, you take your hands, you keep your eyes on your fingertips as far as you possibly can, and then turn your head as far as it'll go, and then turn your eyes as far as they'll go. So I take my hand as far as I can, then I turn my head, then I turn my eyes. So I'm trying to do an exorcist on this. I just realized I did the wrong hand at the start, you guys, I apologize. My left hand goes to my right, and my right hand goes to my left. See? Too many things in my tiny brain. Okay, so I'm rotating, and I'm rotating. If I could do the exorcist where I do the full spin, I would, but I could do it once. I just wouldn't be able to do anything else ever again. Okay, so that's my spine covered. So the hips, hip mobility we'll go into detail on as we go. I'd rather do that individually to actually look at the detail, but for now we'll just do our circles. Lovely. And again, so that's the pelvis itself. For the hip then, I'm just going to bring my knee in a circle out. Bring my knee in a circle out. Now be aware, if you twist too much, there can be a little bit of torsion on the ankle and the knee, which could be a problem there. So just don't go too heavy with this. Just roll your knee out, roll your knee out, roll your knee out, roll your knee out. And then reverse it. Roll your knee in, roll your knee in, roll your knee in, and roll your knee in. Lovely. From there, for my knees, feet together, gentle little circles one way, gentle little circles the other way. And then all I'm going to do is stand on one foot, point my toes down, toes back, foot back. Repeat that 2 or 3 times. Then, rotate one way and rotate the other way. And then switch, same thing on the other side. Toes down, toes back, foot back. Repeat that 2 or 3 times. Rotate one way and rotate the other way. Whenever I lift one foot off the ground, balance immediately becomes my concern. So if I'm turning my head around and watching something that's moving, my balance often is shot to shit. So if I pick something, I just fix my eyes on it. That helps. The other one, the kicking version, the kicking exercise for balance, is just pretend you're holding on to something. So I want to grab hold of that. And now my balance is just that little bit easier to do. Okay, and of course it encourages our guards up. Okay, so that's my mobility section of my body scan. I like to do that at least 1 to 2 times a day, at least. Just to check what's happening with my body. Is it moving the way that I want it to move? Are there any restrictions? Is there any pain? These are things that I need to address. So after my mobility then, I like to just work basic strength. So the first one that we'll do is our basic squat. Feet kind of wide, butt down, pause, butt up. Okay? Butt down, pause, butt up. When people are doing squats, they try and get lower by bringing their shoulders too far forward. We want to avoid that. If I could keep my back completely straight, I would. But as you guys see now, see that habit? Yeah, that's humans. Humans do that. It's never here. It's always there. So down, pause, up, down, pause, up. The slower you do it, the longer the muscles are under tension, the harder the exercise becomes. In karate and kung fu, what they tend to do is they take a stance here, see that run just a little bit wider, and they stay there. Okay? It's quite a nice way to build up leg strength while watching television. Okay? But it gets quite intense in quite a short time. So the longer you can hold that, the healthier the muscles are in your upper legs. Okay? So relax that one then for a second. So the next thing we'll look at is our core. So we're just going to look at this from a few different ways. So all I'll do is I'm going to lay down on the floor. So if you guys don't have soft carpet or something, I'd go easy on a hardwood floor, okay? So something soft is good. So I squat down low, I roll back onto my back, okay? So the first action then, I put my feet flat on the floor, my knees bent, my fingertips go in the hip crease, and I'm going to reach up and down. Reach up and trying to get my wrists past my knees. If you're not able to do that, that's okay. Just go as high as you can. Now, we'll add a tension exercise to this. So as I reach up, I'm going to lock the top position. Lock those muscles as tight as I can, and then drop. So I come up, squeeze, lock, and down. Up, squeeze, and down. Okay? So you can hear the tension in my abs actually carries through my diaphragm. It changes my voice, which is what we're after, okay? So it should be squeeze, quite a bit of tension. Now I'm going to invert that movement. So from here, feet remain flat on the floor, shoulders on the floor. I like to lift my head up a little bit to remind me what not to do. I don't want to drive my head into the floor here. So shoulders on the floor, feet on the floor. Start to lift your hips up, 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 as high as you can. When they're as high as you can, squeeze your butt. So, butt down, butt up, and squeeze, down. Flat to the floor, butt up, squeeze, and down. Butt up, squeeze, and down. If that feels easy to you, do exactly the same thing, but just take one foot off the floor and point your toes straight forward. Lift up, and down, switch to the other side. Foot up. So single leg bridge. Okay, lovely. And then the last one then of these exercises, from here I roll onto my belly. Now, a good one to practice is I keep looking the same way. So I'm looking at the camera, I swing my legs around, I'm still looking at the camera. Now I start to switch my hips over. So I haven't changed my head position. At all times, my head is facing, sorry, I haven't changed my head direction. The head's going to bob up and down and move a little bit, but all times I'm facing the same way, okay? That's not what I'm after though. What I'm after is my push from here. So initially, keeping your knees on the floor, push the whole body nice and straight, and lower it down, just nose to the floor. So I don't want to rest on the floor at the bottom. What I'm looking to do is to have no bend in my hip. So from here to here, I don't want that or that to occur. If that's easy to you, awesome, up onto your toes. If it's not, don't feel that you have to go onto your toes. Or start ball of feet even, nose to the floor and up. So from here, nose to the floor and up. Lovely. So I'm going to get myself back up to standing. Different ways of doing this. One way is step, step, chin down, butt up, and stand up. With the younger people, pop stand, okay? Don't expect anyone to have to do anything that they're not geared towards right now. We'll build up for things. So repeat that sequence. From here, squats, down, hold, up, down, hold, up. Now slow down, hold, drive up. Slow down, hold, drive up. Slow down, hold, drive up. Lovely. From there onto our backs. Okay. Hands on the hip crease. And we're going to bring our hands full, the length of our femur. So hands up, squeeze, and down. So my shoulders are lifting clean off the floor. Trying to get as much of my back off the floor each time as I can. So keep doing the exercise. Up, squeeze the abs, and down. Up, squeeze the abs, and down. Up, squeeze the abs, and down. You actually don't have to do a huge number of these exercises. If you really tense the muscles, you'll do the work. We're going to invert it now into our bridge. Feet flat on the floor. Hips up. Squeeze your butt. And down. 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 From there, get onto our bellies. Okay, and I'm going for my push. So, if you're, comfortable is the wrong word. If knees on the floor feels like enough, keep your knees on the floor. If not, go to the balls of your feet. So from here, I'm going to push up, all the way to my arms lock. Now I'm going to slowly bend my arms until I just tip the floor. Then I'm going to drive up. So I'm going slowly down, and the trigger to push is touching the floor. Okay, slowly down. Touch, push. Slowly down, touch, push. Slowly down, touch, shoes to do that at. Last set of these. So from here, squat, slow down, pause at the bottom, drive up. Move the feet a little bit further apart. Lovely. Slow down, pause, drive up. Slow down, pause, drive up. Keep going now. For power lifters, the hip crease must be below the top of the knee. That's a good frame of reference. Hip crease below top of knee. Okay? Because I often see people squatting like that. It's not doing what we want it to do. Here, pause, drive. Here, pause, drive. Here, pause, drive. From there onto our backs. Fingertips to the hip crease. Okay, so get the spine off the floor. As it comes up, squeeze and down. Up, squeeze and down. I think you got the idea now. Keep going. As much of your back off the floor as you can every time. It's going to be different for each person. We're not machines. We're not carbon copies. Everyone moves a little differently. Too many people, in my opinion, are getting exercise videos off the fucking internet that are geared towards 22-year-olds with six-packs. If you are not a 22-year-old with six-packs, do not follow a goddamn TikTok exerciser who is 22 and has a six-pack. You will not be able to do what they do and hurt yourself trying. Feet flat on the floor, shoulders on the floor. Try not to press your head into it. Lift your butt up, squeeze and drop. Up, squeeze and drop. Up, squeeze and drop. Now I should change the word drop. Up, squeeze to slowly lower would be better than drop. Poor English on my part, I apologize. Up, squeeze and drop. Lovely. From there, onto our bellies. Do our push. So again, if you need the knees on the floor, that's great. Don't worry about it. If you don't, great, amazing. Keep your hips straight. Don't bend in the middle. So, pushing up. Slowly lower down. Touching the floor is the trigger to push up. Slowly down. Touch, push up. Slowly down. Touch, push up. Slowly down. Touch, push up. And then we're going to step, step, butt down, chin up, stand up. Lovely. Okay. What's next on my little list of torture? Turkish get-ups. Beautiful. Right. They're going to use, where's the camera? There. They're going to use these incredibly high-tech weight systems. No, they're not. They're going to use pads, actually. That would be even better. Anything that goes on your hand. Now, don't slide your hand in. Just go flat to it, okay? So what I want to do, whoops, a small book, not a hardback book, a light book. My hand flat here. So I'm in this position. I'm going to turn my back to you guys so we're all going the same way. So pad is in my right hand. If I turn my back now everyone's going the same way. Pad is in my right hand. Very slowly, bring my left foot back, bring my left knee down to the floor. Very, very slowly. From here, oops, sorry, that's me unbalancing because I'm scratching. I apologize. From here, left hand finds the floor. Okay, now transfer the weight to my right foot on my left hand. So I can lift this up, slide it forwards. Now I sit my ass down. From here, I slide down onto my elbow. My left elbow's on the floor, my left hip is on the floor, my right foot's on the floor. Slide down onto my shoulder. Now I lay on my back. Now I'm going to reverse that movement. So, lift up onto my shoulder. Lift up onto my elbow. Lift up onto my hand. Keep the weight in the hand and the opposite foot. Lift the hip. Slide that knee back under and square yourself up. And we just lunge to stand. Now I'm going to switch to the other hand. Pad goes in my left hand. Okay, nice and slowly slide my right foot back. My right knee finds the floor. My right hand finds the floor. We good? Sorry, I got my back to you, so I was trying to give you a reference to follow rather than watching you, I apologize. From here, I lift up my hip, slide that foot all the way through, sit my butt down. Now staccato. So move, stop, rather than trying to flow through it and do it fast. Turkish get up should not be done fast, okay? So I roll onto my shoulder, come up onto my elbow, up onto my hand. From here, place the foot flat, the hand flat, put all the weight in the left foot and the right hand, lift and slide that knee underneath, get myself onto one knee, stuff, and lunge to stand. That is the Turkish get up. I have that filmed. You've done that with that one. I have that filmed on the YouTube. You can find it if you go through the videos, or I can, I don't know, ask questions. If you've got questions, just WhatsApp me. Right, good morning, Seth. So the good morning exercise from here. So you do this with a barbell or whatever, just not a heavy one, quite a light barbell. Okay. So I put the barbell across my shoulders or stick across my shoulders. All I want you to do is to basically try and stick your butt that way as much as you can. That's it, and just come forward as far as we can. And then back up again, okay? So my legs are almost straight, almost completely straight. There might be a tiny bend of the knee, but definitely not a big bend. I'm just going to lean forwards and back. But I want the emphasis to be on driving the hips that way. So I'm trying to drive my hips back so you can really feel the lower back get to work, okay? If you spend a lot of time sitting, this is quite a nice one. Here, if I had a weight, I would be here. Okay, that's my good morning. Now, we're now going to do what we call a windmill. So if I had a weight, my weight would be in my left hand, and my right hand goes on my inner thigh, and it tracks down the inside line of my leg, and this hand wants to be pointing straight up. All I'm going to do when I get to the bottom is push this hip as far as I can in the opposite direction. Hand on the inside of the thigh, tracks down the leg, and then when you get to the bottom, drive that hip across, and you should feel the muscles here really go to work. Then we switch to the other side, right hand up, left hand on the inside of the thigh, all the way, and switch again. When I get to the bottom, push that hip out, switch again, there we are, okay? That's our good morning exercise and our windmills. And where did I put my little reminder card? There it is, lovely. Okay, elephant walk was the next one. From here, I'm going to bend my knees quite a bit until I can slip my fingers under my toes. Okay? Once I get my fingers under my toes, my head goes down, my butt comes up. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to straighten my right leg and bend my left, and straighten my left and bend my right. So I go 1, 2, like a pulse. It's called an elephant walk. And an elephant walking is about the speed you want to be doing this at. Nice and easy. Okay, so take a break there for a second now. Bend your knees right down. Get your butt really low. Take your fingers out from under your toes. Lift your chin up and stand up. Okay? The reason we want to be careful there is because if you're not used to it, you keep your head down here. You work for a minute or two. You stand up, you go boom. Okay? There's no blood going. Yeah? Your blood pressure really changes when your head goes down. Particularly when your calves are kind of isolated or taken out of the equation like this. That's the second heart there, yeah? That pushes blood around the system. So from here, I bend my knees, slip my fingers under my toes. Okay, then my head goes down and I straighten one leg and bend the other and I'm pulsing. Left, right, left, right, left, right. Don't worry if you don't lock your legs straight. Just go until you can feel a bit of a stretch in the calf and the hamstring, okay? Now try and let your head and your shoulders sink as much as possible. Try and get all the tension out of them. Okay, we're going to come out of it now, so remember our sequence. Butt goes down, hands come free, chin comes up, pause for a second, and then drive yourself back up. And it should equalize that blood pressure much, much better than rather than a sudden dunk. Okay, if you just go from here to here, whoa, you want to watch out for that one, okay? Shoulders was next on my agenda. So from here, from my shoulders, all I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the center, my thumb to my sternum. My hand is going to go straight up and rotate as it goes up. So I'm rotating palm right, thumb forward. Now I come down. Now I rotate the opposite direction. So it's like it's going on a screw thread. Okay, then do the same in the other hand. So I rotate up, rotate. Okay, so that's north. Then we go south. Rotate and rotate the other way. Rotate and rotate the other way. So really twist the arm as much as you can. Then I go to my east. I rotate and I rotate the other way. I rotate and I rotate the other way. Then I go west. I rotate and I rotate the other way. And I rotate and I rotate the other way. So it's just checking the health of the shoulder, all the little muscles that are involved in those actions. All right, the last part for the shoulders then is our teacup drill. Now you can have these. One for you. Take my cup. Now, I do it with water in. I don't recommend that the first few you do have water in. This does not have water in. I'm only messing. Right, hand kind of flat. Now I can grip it just a little bit, but I don't want you gripping it like this. What you're going to do is you're going to hold the cup out. You're going to turn it under your arm. You're going to hold it out behind you here. Okay? And you're going to bring it around. And I'm going to bend my spine underneath to try and keep the cup straight up. And I'm going to go all the way around until I end up back in this position again. So I'm here, bring the cup around, keeping it facing up, all the way around until it comes back to this position. So I'm going in my hand here, cup back behind me, all the way around. Yep, that happens until it comes back to here. I'm repeating again. Goes here, all the way around, back to here. So, little challenge for anyone that's up for it. Take two. I recommend plastic cups. Take two plastic cups. Put an inch of water in them. Okay? Be ready to clean up. Okay? And from here, one goes one way, and then the other one follows after. And we try and keep them, two of them moving all the time. Okay? And you'll find out what your shoulder health is fairly quickly playing that game. Okay, last little bit then, last little bit even. We're just going to have a look just a little bit more at the hips and just the hip action. So I'm going to sit my ass down on the floor. From here, I'm going to go kind of quick now, because I've only got 2 minutes left in our half hour list. So I'm going to swim my hands forward, not swing them. Swimming my hands forward. Okay, now I have another video where I really go into detail on the hips. If anybody wants it, you can just message me, and same with you obviously. So I stretch my calves and my hamstrings and I go through all that. We're just going to have a quick look at the glutes. So from here, my feet are flat on the floor, okay, about this width. I lay on my back and I just flop my knees left side, right side. Just let them flop, 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 okay? And then once I'm kind of smoothed out that action, or got the muscles around the joints ready for that action, I just come up onto my elbows and I repeat. Flop, flop, flop. Come up onto my hands and I keep going. Flop, flop, flop. And I start to sit all the way up. Okay, it takes a little bit more muscle action when you're sitting up. And then the last part then is I make sure I get this 90-90 bend in my knee. So if I bring my foot in and I make this a smaller angle, you're getting nothing. 90 degrees, hands equidistant from the knee. So if that's a foot away from my knee on this side, this one's a foot away from my knee on that side. I want to bring my chest down, and then to really amplify it, my chest comes down and my rear hip comes up, and I drive down into this. Just beware of this angle. Don't let this angle collapse at the front knee. So that's a little bit sharp of an angle there. Just extend that at 90 degrees. That's it. And now, chest down, hips up, or back hip up. Okay. And then switching over to the other side, exactly the same thing. Hands equidistant from the knee, chest down, hip up. And you get a lovely stretch on the outside of the glutes here. And the very last one, I'm accelerating, so I just want to get this one in before we finish. Feet together, grab your toes, and just first of all, just drive your knees down towards the floor. The second one, you grab your ankles and use your elbows. Oh, shut up. Use your elbows to push your knees down. Okay? That'll do for today, you guys. Take it easy. See you soon.